This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
I'm going home, I'm going home.
And welcome back. This is Boomer Life on CL 650. I'm Joanne Sutton. Joining us in the studio today from HomeCareAssistance, we welcome Janice Hamill. She's a senior case manager. We're also joined by Sophie Salcido, a wealth advisor with Van City, and Nicole Cameron sitting beside myself. She's a sales manager at Dignity Memorial. And what's the common thread between all of our guests today? Well, they all promote the theory of changing the way that the world ages, a focus on the West Van Company HomeCareAssistance. So far on the show today, we've talked about being more financially prepared for all of those what-ifs in life. And it's all about pre-planning. So let's start with Janice. If we can go back to you on behalf of HomeCareAssistance, why is it so important to talk about all of this now?
Well, I think ultimately to some of the examples that have been shared today, especially Nicole's in particular, where I've seen as well in the homes the difference between planning and not planning. Actually, just before I came into the studio today, I had a call from a family who was letting me know that their loved one had just been deemed palliative. And it was at that point, as I'm driving, having this conversation about, have things been arranged? Where are things at? How are you doing, obviously, but getting a better sense of what's been going on. And ultimately, to their point, nothing was planned. It's a moment of panic and crisis and, trying to manage that in addition to that, overwhelming news of, my loved one's going to pass, versus other families where I've seen a woman, her husband had been diagnosed, and a year ahead of time, she had planned everything. And the moment at the service, the celebration of life that I attended, it was beautiful. And you could see, again, the complete difference. She was able to support her husband, and our staff were able to support her. And there was no worries about what was going on. Or even to initially when we first get phone calls and people are like, oh, wow, that's how much home care is going to cost if, we start at small level and then we increase care because there's a decline in health. And then it's, well, have you talked to your financial advisor? Have you looked into that? How are you going to make those contacts? And so pre-planning is huge in all the conversations that we have with our families on both ends of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm. And Sophie?
Most definitely. A lot of times I'm suggesting to clients, take this pamphlet for HomeCareAssistance, for instance, put it into your folder. And should something happen to you, that might need to be one of your first calls to have the advocate show up at the hospital to help you navigate the system. Or quite often I'll hear a story from a client who, as I'm having the discussion, they'll start to say, oh, actually, well, I have a friend and she's totally overwhelmed at home. She's trying to take care of her husband. I have another client who has an elderly father. He just turned 100. She hadn't gone away for almost 2 years. I handed her the pamphlet. I said, please just try to get some help, someone to spin you off so you can get off and take care of yourself a little bit. And so it's really important. And I try to encourage my clients, again, this whole topic about speaking and communicating early and
being proactive, like you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll send clients out. Go get those free lunches that are offered at all those homes and care homes. Go visit, see where you might want to be. And clients will often come back and say, I remember when you told me to do that, and I'm going to keep doing that. I'm glad you told me that.
And Nicole, you mentioned earlier that one of the essential services that are offered by Dignity Memorial is the fact that you go into the community to help start this conversation.
Absolutely. We put on seminars each month. Each location does complete our seminars, have seminars. We also attend trade shows. Just come up and visit. Contact your local funeral home and have them, they'll let you know when the next date's available.
Mm-hmm. I've also noticed you're advertising in local papers as well.
Yes.
And you have services throughout the province of BC, correct?
Yes, we have 2,800 locations throughout North America. And one of the benefits to pre-arranging is that we have what's called national transferability. And national transferability means that if you were to purchase your funeral or cemetery arrangements, and if you move more than 100 kilometers away from your current place of residence, you can transfer your product like for like. So if you purchased a cemetery plan in Vancouver and you move to California, you'll be able to transfer those arrangements like for like.
Wow, that's very comforting, I'm sure, to a lot of our listeners. let us know how your story connects with Janice's palliative care story.
So, Janice, one of the things I did want to touch base with you on is that we also go into palliative care as well as hospice to meet with families and let them know what is to be expected when the time comes that someone has passed. So we will walk them through the process completely, so there's no surprises.
I think that's great, Nicole, because oftentimes, like I said, is with particular this family that's top of mind this morning, is really about, having those resources, right, and being able to refer, as one of our approach of home care assistance and our case management is really being proactive versus reactive, right? What are the resources out there? How can we help them? What are the information that we can provide? So definitely, I think that's a great asset for everybody to be aware of.
I see both of these services as going above and beyond a regular expectation of a company like that. And Sophie, I know that through Van City, there's another specialized service that you wanted to mention.
That's right. So in regards to being proactive for your families, I have quite a lot of clients. Many of them, I would say, that fit into this category are no local family or very little local family or no children. And the issue becomes who is going to act for you as your executor and also your power of attorney. So we can act and guide you in the way of getting a corporate executor, either as a co-executor or a full-on executor. And so many members or clients will come to me and look for that guidance, or I'll offer it to them. And we work with Concentra Trust in order to help get this service set up for a client and a member. And you basically need to be writing this into your will ahead of time. So again, it's about getting the planning done so that when something does happen to this person, if there's no local family, then the phone call goes to Concentra Trust, who now is stepping in to act and maybe work with Janice in that capacity to get the care organized.
And that's great, Sophie. Actually, it makes me think of a client just, I've had a dialogue with, basically she has no friends, she has no family, she has no siblings, and really it's a friend that is right now currently the point of contact. And she's, aging herself. She lives on the island. The client herself lives in West Van. She's visiting over, and it's her question now is, do I move her into facility? Because what if something happens to me? And so there's no resources there at this point, or no knowledge of exactly that executive planning and what are my options. So that's great as well. I think there's lots of people out in the community and certainly a lot of our clients that could benefit from that information as well.
Sophie Salcido, what's the best way for someone to get in touch with you?
Oh, you can definitely just send me an email. So it's Sophie_Salcido@vancity.com.
And Nicole Cameron?
It's the same. It's nicole.cameron@dignitymemorial.com. Just shoot me a quick email.
And we can also visit your website, which is dignitymemorial.ca, I believe. And home care assistance?
You can reach me personally at jhamel@HomeCareAssistance.com or at our website, HomeCareAssistanceVancouver.ca.
Thanks, all three of you, for being here today and starting the conversation about pre-planning. It's not an easy topic, but we appreciate all of your input.
Thank you so much.
This is BoomerLife on CIL 650. A special thanks to all of our guests today, from Home Care Assistance, Janice Hamel, Senior Case Manager, also Sophie Salcido, a Wealth Advisor with Van City, and Nicole Cameron, Sales Manager at Dignity Memorial. Carolina and Jay Arosa from Home Care Assistance started their company to help change the way that the world ages, adding a holistic approach with their focus on the big picture. Home Care Assistance wants to make certain that we all age with dignity. We know we'll be hearing more from this company again on BoomerLife. Thanks for joining us. This is CL 650.